Okay, I'm just gonna, last time I didn't press the right button and you know how it goes.
So do you do a record too?
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Oh,
You're watching NSTV. Okay. All right, so I am here with the great Jess Furman, Emmy nominee, founder of the Metavinci Labs,
yes.
and creative labs. It's like with a K and an 8.
Yes.
And a self-described futurist, which I love. If you're an NS, you got to be a futurist, right?
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
I've been so excited to have this conversation with you. I feel like you brighten up every room that you enter.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
just and you're so interesting. You have such an amazing background, and yeah, I'm excited to get into it. Yeah,
Yay.
but first, announcements. Okay, so as everyone knows, this month is Ethereum month. But next month, we're going to be having a lot more AI events. So if you go to ns.com/AI, you'll see all the events we have. And if you're watching this and maybe you're not at NS, you can go straight to that page and apply to come here and maybe kickstart your AI career, kickstart your AI journey. So check it out. And yeah, now, Jess! Yay! Okay, so first I want to ask you, why did you move to a deserted island with 500 people on it?
I mean, when I heard Startup Society, Frontier Lands, I participated in Zoo Connect, which was the spinoff after Zoozaloo.
Yes.
And honestly, like the idea of just these like digital societies and just being able to kind of tie everything together in terms of utilizing blockchain, Web3, but also like what's happening with our nation states where, I mean, as like, you know, Balaji said, like nation states are kind of failing people, right? Like,
yes.
So society as a service, super interesting to me.
Yep.
My friend actually, Elaine Wang.
Oh, you know Elaine, yes.
Really good friend of mine. So that's also how I ended up here.
Okay, you know Elaine.
Yes.
Okay.
But she was here and she's like, well, what are you doing? And I spent a month in Italy, which was not so great.
Oh.
And
the definition of a failed state, Italy.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm Italian.
Also like dark, rainy.
Yeah.
So she's like, what are you going to do in May? She's already here. And she's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm clearing my schedule. I'm going to stay in LA for the month of May. I'm going to build. And she's like, no, don't build there. She's like, I'm already at the network state school.
Yeah.
Come here. It's our people. Everyone is like super smart, like really like awesomely neurodivergent.
So neurodivergent.
And like, yeah, absolutely. And she's like, and it's on an island with greenery and
it's beautiful
water
here.
and beach and meals are taken care of, like programming is taken care of. So
yes.
I was like, all right, I'll divert. So last minute, I just bought a plane ticket and came and met her here.
Cool. So you came from LA to here, basically, or you went to Italy first, sort of.
I came back from Italy. I had a couple trips locally, and then actually I was in Vegas. I played soccer for the weekends. Yeah, I did a tournament, and then
you do like a professional league or semi-professional?
It's a recreational league,
okay,
but I play with women all over the world. So I'll be playing
amazing.
in Iceland next month, which I'm really
so
excited
cool.
about. But yeah, so I came here from Vegas.
Yeah.
So I did a soccer tournament, and then it was Bitcoin 2026.
Oh yeah.
So I stayed for that, and then I came straight from Vegas here.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So I gotta ask. So I want to get deeper into your project, like the thing that you're working on. I don't want to drop the title because I want you to say because it's such a fun name. And is the project you're working on, that's under the creative group, or is that
under Creative Group?
Metavinci Labs?
It's under Creative Group.
Creative Group. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. So can you tell me more about your background in how did you come to like work on an Emmy nominated project? Like how do you're so, because I've also like I Google stalked you or whatever, and you've worked on you're like you're a songwriter, right? And you've like worked on like different musical productions throughout your career. Like how did you get into that? And how did you find yourself working on an Emmy nominated project?
Yeah, so I have a degree in politics from NYU, but I started playing shows when I was really young. I just always loved writing music. And when I graduated, I gave my parents the diploma, and I went straight to their heart, straight into bartending and playing clubs.
There you go.
Yeah. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just I kept trying to tell them, like, because now they're thrilled because I'm in the tech side, and they're like, oh, this is great.
God, finally,
yeah,
stability.
so finally. But I kept trying to explain to them, I'm like, you don't choose to torture yourself by becoming a musician. Like, you just have this compulsion to create and to communicate.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I worked really, really hard. I didn't go to music school, so I started playing clubs. And then I learned how to record and produce. I kind of realized at a certain point that I never really wanted to be a singer-songwriter. I always thought that's what I had to do.
Yep.
I didn't know that songwriters wrote songs for artists. I didn't know that people wrote for TV and film.
Yep.
And once I learned that, I moved out to Los Angeles. I taught myself how to record. And so for the past couple decades, I've had a production company where I've written and produced songs for like hundreds of TV shows, commercials, ads, you name it.
Yeah.
And then I would say in like the last like 6 or 7 years of my career, I really got into creator advocacy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and one of the things that I realized I was good at that a lot of musicians aren't was I was really business minded in addition to being creative.
Yep.
And I'd also like kind of run through the gamut of bad deals, bad managers.
Yep.
Like just things that you see that you're confronted with. Do I keep working these 3 jobs or do I take this really bad deal that might bury me?
Yeah.
So once I got more established, I kind of made it a mission to make sure that I didn't pay forward that culture, but also that I spent my time like being a creator advocate and using my voice in ways that like could stand up to the publishers and the record labels and the digital distributors. So I moved into advocacy, but you know, I've had a really awesome career. So the Emmy nomination came because I was on something called the Pink Mafia on Facebook.
I've heard of them.
It is for production. It's amazing.
Okay.
But it's not music related. And just kind of how I got into the whole industry, because I wasn't in the music industry, was my philosophy is like, don't go where everyone else is. Like, try to think outside the box. So when I got my first agent, I saved up a lot of money and I looked to where like all the TV and film agents were, and it was really expensive at the time, but I knew a lot of artists weren't going to be there. And I knew that the agent I wanted to sign me was, and I brought like 1 CD at the time, and I had memorized all the faces, so I knew who she was, gave her my CD, and they signed me. She called me from her car like a couple hours later and was like, oh my God, yes, you know.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Yeah, which was really, really cool. But so I did the same thing with the show I ended up working on. When I was looking for opportunities, I saw someone list something for a music-driven series.
Okay.
And they were looking for a showrunner. So I cold pitched and said, hey, I know you're looking for a showrunner, but if it's a music-driven series and you want queer folk, like, I'm part of the tribe. I don't know if you've considered the music part yet, but I'd love to throw my hat in the ring. And they called me right away. And we ended up meeting, and they pulled me in to be the executive music director and the music director. So yeah, I music directed all the songs for that, and then I co-produced and co-wrote one of the episode songs. There was like a live dance number. And the show ended up, it's called Book of Queer. I'm really proud of it. It was like queer history told drunken history style.
And then was it all true stories that? So it was all okay. Go
Yeah,
off.
because the whole idea is like, so the guy who wrote it, Eric Servini, is incredible. He calls himself the homo historian, and but he's just brilliant. So like the whole concept for that show is like queer people have been here throughout history. Like this isn't a new evolution. Like so everything was about like inventions for one episode or politicians, or there's always like a different kind of angle. It was a variety show. There were about 4 or 5 episodes. So we got nominated for 6 Emmys.
Yeah, that's amazing.
The show won 1. So in my category, I'm personally nominated for the main title.
Oh, cool. But the Book of Queer?
For Book of Queer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's how that whole thing.
So you came up with that title?
No, they did. Book of Queer was theirs. They hired me on the production.
Got you.
Sorry. Main title is the intro to the show.
Oh, like the song.
The song, the music, like the whole
like the theme song. Okay. I see. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So who's the most surprising person in history that was maybe queer or was queer?
I mean, I don't know if it's surprising, but like, you know, you think about like non-binary, like Nefertiti, for example.
Okay.
I mean, everyone knows about Alan Turing, the Turing machine.
Oh yes, of course.
God, there were so many. It was just. I could watch it. It's really,
I will.
Cool. Yeah.
I heard Abraham Lincoln was queer.
Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
In the episode.
Okay. I saw the Mary, the Mary. It was like a show from the perspective of Abraham Lincoln's wife, who was like pretty. What's the word? Like she had a lot of mental issues or whatever, and so but she was very funny in the show. And anyway, so that's how I heard about that. So I was wondering if that was true.
Yeah.
Cool. So you've been in artist land. So right now I'm here with you. You're a
producer, writer,
production, songwriter, like music producer. You're in artist land, right? What brings you into tech land? Like, what is the thing? Is it the creator advocacy stuff that you're working on, or? Yeah.
So right before the NFT bubble burst, I had my custom house that I had established. We did custom music, so I would hire other producers and writers.
Yep.
And it got acquired under a music group. So as long as I was with them launching their whole division for licensing, for original music, all that stuff, my company that I own, Sound Bowers, my production company, was part of their music group.
Cool.
And so flash forward to this whole NFT craze. We had like Goldfinger and the Used and a couple really big bands on one of the sub labels.
Yeah.
And so people started reaching out who were doing these like NFT probably arbitrage scams that you find out later.
Yeah.
And they were asking, and it was my division to handle because it was technically a license.
Oh.
And so I was like, well, I don't really know a lot about this. So I went to NFT LA.
Oh, okay.
It was probably like 6+ years ago. And I was sitting there and I'm like total nerd. So like I have my little notebook and they started explaining like NFTs, but then blockchain, and something just clicked for me. Like it made sense. And the actual original use case for me was I'd been doing a lot. I was on the board of an organization called SONA. So we ended up suing the Department of Justice. We made the first change to music copyright law in over 150 years, I think it is.
Oh my gosh, tell me about that.
It was incredible. It was like the little organization that could, like a bunch of songwriters sitting around like a table, like a coffee table, and then like joining with these other organizations. But essentially what's happening, and what's still happening, is instead of people purchasing music, they just use streaming services, right? But the big streamers, the Spotifys, the Pandoras, like all of those, like Apple Music, some are better than others, but realistically what's happening, they do the same for apps in the App Store, is they take a lion's share of the money.
Yes, they
right?
take 30%.
Plus, you can't actually just put your music on iTunes. You have to go through a distributor. So now the distributor takes a cut, and these digital streamers take a cut.
Yep.
And so when this cropped up, there was this whole discrepancy over like revenue, matching funds, what they had to actually match, and there was something called black box money where it wasn't being matched accurately. The reason why I'm getting so granular is because
No, go off.
Yeah.
This
is why. Okay. This is why I got into blockchain. Was because when I was sitting there, I'm like, oh yeah, NFTs, like at least digital collectibles, NFTs, I was like, interesting. But when I saw blockchain technology, what really kind of perked my ears was thinking about all of the database issues we have with how we pair royalties, how we match royalties to spreadsheets. Yes. Believe it or not. And
is everything just like an interconnected web of spreadsheets right now? Is that...
Oh, but it's so much worse, right? So much worse. It is. So actually it's funny because I started traveling around to all these hackathons with this like idea of how to solve this problem. And what I didn't realize is most tech people didn't understand this, right? This is the most basic thing. So this is a water bottle, right?
Oh, really?
So I wrote, You sure?
Are you sure?
Maybe not.
We're on a deserted island. No,
So if I wrote this song and the song is called Water Bottle. Right? The way that money's collected has nothing to do with, well, it does have to do with the song, but for me to register it, I don't have to submit the song. I just have to say I wrote Water Bottle.
Oh, so it's all art, it's all person.
It's person in words. So now ideally then they're cue sheets and people find it. But I couldn't get tech people to understand because they're like, wait a minute, there's no, like, how is this much money flying around? And literally I'm like, just wrote Water Bottle.
Well, so are you saying it's like easy to hack, or like what's the...
It's easy to mismatch, it's easy to hack, it's easy to like, you have multiple titles. How many people have probably written the song Water Bottle? Maybe you upload one, I upload one, like, you know, not even upload, you're just literally typing in, I wrote this song, no audio attached.
Yes.
And then later on, when things are being distributed, there might be like 5 songs called Water Bottle, and now they're trying to decide who to pay, and maybe they're making it up. Maybe they have it registered for the record label, but not for the songwriter, different sets of rights. So when I was learning about blockchain, sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, what if we had like a central source of truth that like wasn't privatized databases? Because the thing with like, I think any advancement in any industry is you have to look and say, why hasn't this problem been solved yet? And in the music industry, just like also, I mean, I'd say any and all creative IP, meaning royalties, residuals for, you know, filmmakers, for actors, for, you know, writers, right? The problem hasn't been solved because the people who collect the money have a benefit to...
Keep it the same.
Well, think about it. If they've made a claim and the money's coming in, you just don't see it on your statement. You don't know your money didn't reach you. You just get your statement and you're like, oh, I guess that's all I made.
Oh, I guess I had 100,000 streams or whatever. And then you don't even really know how much you get per stream,
You don't
right?
know. So, like, I mean, if you're famous and you have a big publisher, they always say if you have a single, the first thing you should do is audit everybody because there's a lot of money that gets lost. But, you know, so flash forward, you have all these privatized databases. And when we passed the Music Modernization Act, it created a different set of rights called a rights collection agency called organization called the MLC. And the
MLC.
MLC was supposed to help solve some copyright discrepancies.
Okay.
When the database launched, it was kind of bullshit. It pulled in and showed you the discrepancies, but when you fixed them so you could get paid on this set of rights, it didn't push them back out. So you're playing whack-a-mole and you're like,
Read only.
okay, where did it come from? So anyway, so that kind of put me down a rabbit hole where I started giving all these talks. So I did what I did when I got into music, where I'm like, okay, I don't really know the tech world. How do I immerse myself in the culture? I looked up conferences, and then I pitched myself as a speaker on what I understood. So I was like, at the beginning I didn't know very much, but I was like, this is what blockchain technology seems to be. It's a ledger. This is the problem we have in the music industry with privatized databases and ledger technology. Like, there's a huge use case for this. So I started going around and giving that talk, and I had pitched an idea to a VC, and he told me that I didn't have enough tech experience. And it really bothered me.
That's annoying, because you can just get a co-founder or something, right? Or
Well,
or hire somebody.
It's worse than that. He just funded a friend of mine who had no tech experience.
Was it a man?
Yeah.
Okay, it was a man.
It was a man.
Guys, it was a man.
So he said, look, this is great, honey. But you need more tech experience. So the universe, I was like, I was going home that night back to LA, and I was online, and I was trying to find communities, and I found this DAO that was women, and there was a scholarship. And I just threw a dart into like the universe, and just like, I didn't have any coding experience, but I was like, I'm branding, I do this, I do that, I know biz dev, blah, blah, blah. And I hit send, I get home, I wake up the day after, and I landed the scholarship.
Amazing.
So I was on a plane to Amsterdam that weekend, and ended up participating, and my project won top prizes at this hackathon. It was in ETH Global in Amsterdam. And the founders of the DAO were there. And we got to be really good friends, so I became a governor of that DAO.
Cool. What's the DAO?
It was Blue DAO. It's not around anymore.
Okay.
But at the time, we did over 250 global scholarships for women and non-binary globally.
Wow.
And the big thing for us that we did really well, I really was proud of, is we made sure we had these hacker houses where women could come and stay. We made sure we had buses. We made sure we had buddy systems, because the idea is like women represent less than 1%, right, in tech. So how do we create safe spaces where they can go and they can learn? And our teams ended up doing really, really well, which was super, super cool. And then we also I did a program in Bogota, where we negotiated to have a dedicated stage for just women speakers. In the main like Dev Connect kind of hall, which was really big, because women could go and sometimes they would just sit down. But the goal for us was, it was a 5-day event. So no matter when women would come through, they would either see a woman dev speaker, a woman entrepreneur,
always
VC.
having somebody.
Yes, and we partnered with 10 other DAOs for the programming. So we did it bilingual. We made sure that each DAO had like a representation in the programming. But it was like a dedicated space that had nonstop programming for women.
Wow.
Yeah, super cool.
That's so. I have to ask this, and this is maybe a deeper question. We don't have to if you don't want to, but you seem like somebody who's very like, I see this problem, I'm going to solve it. Like high agency, I would say, but it's also like there's a kindness, because I feel like sometimes high agency, I mean, you could like, there could be a high agency guy that's just like trying to sell, I don't know, like diet pills to insecure women or something. You know what I mean? But you have like this kindness and this, I want to help other people. Like, where do you feel like that came from? Like, is it like, I don't know. I think I've always just been fairly empathetic. I also think that I know how people respond. Like when you mentioned like, oh, I walk in a room and I'm bright. Like, I know that it's luck that I was born with a certain type of energy and maybe lack of shyness in certain ways. And so for me, it's like, how do I open doors for other people? So like, I love kind of walking into a situation and being like, oh, come sit with us. Like kind of using that power for good. And I think I've always just felt like, if there's one thing that drives me nuts on this planet, it's bullying. Like it's using that like power that you have, or that presence that you have, to put other people down. And I just think that's always just been a bit part of my nature, where I think I also have this idea, like, again, you can't like totally learn completely out of your nature and skill set, but some of it I'm just like, oh, well, like, how do I open this door for you? And for me, like, I'm constantly learning from other people, so I don't see any skill set as better or worse. I just think there are things that you do naturally better than me. And so like, I think for me, a lot of it is opening those doors and creating community and linking. And I get a lot of joy in doing that. You're a super connector.
Super connector.
Amazing. Cool. So, do you want to tell us now about what you're currently working on? I love this project. Right when I saw it, I was like, yes. Yeah. Do you want to give us an overview of what you're currently working on? How that is helping with creator advocacy in the AI era?
Yeah. So there's a lot of fear in the creative community, and it makes sense. I think that there's a benefit to the advancement of technology. For example, and I'll give a pro first.
Yeah.
When I was up and coming, there weren't really. Can you hear what the?
No, we have noise. I was just double checking we had noise canceling on. We do.
Like, we have buzzing.
I know there's buzzing happening.
Leaf blowing.
Someone is mowing the lawn.
Either that or there's like a jet ski in the pool. Maybe there's a jet ski.
Maybe there's a jet ski in the pool.
Can you imagine?
If only.
It's just like a drone that landed and someone's just messing with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can see that happening here.
Right? That's the most probable.
Actually, that's probably what it is.
So anyway, when I first started out, the options were to get a record deal if I wanted to record. You didn't have personal computers with recording on it, right?
Yep.
So there are all of these instances where technology has really created what I would call a middle-class musician or a middle-class artist, and also given people that might not have had access to these gatekeepers access to create, right? So I think that's the plus side. The downside was people stopped buying records, people started streaming music. We covered some of that.
Yep.
But what I think has happened recently with AI is it is moving really quickly. It is a mass production at scale of creative content. And I think that there are so many more shifts that happened before this that make it hard for creatives to make a living, right? So from streaming, revenue went down. People aren't buying records.
Yep.
People, and even if you look at what's happening with Live Nation and Ticketmaster, most of those ticket fees, even for live, are going to StubHub resell.
The fees of everything are crazy,
right? So you have all these companies and corporations that are gatekeeping the actual revenue.
Yes.
So I think as I've been watching all this happen, and as I've been part of
they've decentralized gatekeeping.
That's gatekeeping. They actually have. So I think for me, watching all this go down, and then also having a front row seat to trying to shift things actually in a legal framework, actually going in and being hey, we're going to sue the Department of Justice. We're going to try to make all of this change. It's funny. It looks like scorched earth.
I know. I'm like,
should we worry?
Should we be breathing that in?
Is something on fire?
I think that's bug spray. Which I'm like, should we be breathing that in?
Is that bug spray?
I think it's bug. I think they're smoking out some bugs. I think it's just smoke.
Is it?
Should we go in?
Yeah.
Let's go in.
Probably.
Until it dissipates. Okay.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
It's chemicals.
I think that's chemicals. Here, bring your coffee. Here, I'll grab it. We got smoked out.
It's chemicals.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that bug spray?
It is smoking a lot of mosquito.
They're just spraying chemicals into the air.
Yeah. Are they just poisoning everyone?
We're on a live stream and literally the smoke's coming up behind it, and we're like, should we go in? I'm like, I think so.
We're still mic'd, by the way.
We have a live stream for the NSTV. We're literally the smokes. We're hearing we're trying to continue, and all of a sudden it's coming up behind us.
You guys are recording a podcast.
No, it's live.
No, it's live. Yeah, it's okay. We need a little you need a little chaos in the.
We're like, should we be breathing this?
I'm like, I think it's just smoke. You're like, is it? I'm like, I don't think it is actually. We'll keep it going. I think probably give it 5 minutes.
First we're like, is it a lawnmower? Making jokes about drones, and then we're like, nope, it's chemicals, full on chemicals.
I had to send a video to my friend. He left NS just because of this.
He did?
Wait, really?
He was going crazy. He thought he could smell it in his room. It was so fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing it over there now. I saw this in Singapore too. They do this in Singapore where they. Is it smoke or
I think you'd pick a time
heat?
Maybe at night.
Yeah, or just a time when people aren't. Maybe people are somewhere else,
out
not
about.
In the pool. Maybe. Can you imagine being in the pool and there's just smoke?
Oh yeah, they just come through. When I was in Singapore, I was staying at a hotel and they just did it and I was sitting there eating my breakfast. So I'm like, okay.
Strange. I think it's foreign cities people though. I don't think it's in hotels. Because I've seen it everywhere.
Oh really?
Not only in this hotel.
I mean, you got to control the bugs somehow, but I feel like night, but then if it's night, then you know.
I'm not for this.
See, this is what always happens. If something can go wrong, it will.
Oh, live?
But yeah, live.
100%.
Yeah. I was like, wow, everything happened so great today. Set up, like, no issues.
Famous last words.
Maybe.
Jinxed it.
I know I jinxed it. Oh, I didn't expect the exterminators to be out.
I'm like, do I smell like tea?
Oh yeah. No, I think we got out in time. No, yeah, we don't.
It is gonna be funny footage though, where we're like,
Yeah, we're still live, by the way,
okay,
and we're mic'd.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
They're just watching.
They're just watching
And listening to us be inside looking at the
be
chemicals.
inside, yeah, look at the chemicals. Let's see our stream. Let me see our stream.
Mics right now.
Yeah, we're mic'd. He's like, I don't want to.
You're like, oops.
Let's see what we look like. NSTV world. I'm like, should I not do it outside? It's just like the background's so pretty.
This was a fluke.
That's true. They probably won't do it more than once a month.
I mean, one can dream.
One can dream. That's true.
I mean, do we have people watching it?
2 people, including me. So 1. They always get like a surprisingly large amount of views
After?
Yeah. Like I'll show you. Like Dan just had he got 32 views. That one I had to upload after because I forgot to press stream. So we only got the last 22 minutes. And
That's
then
hilarious.
Apoorva got 80, 34. Like I think the average is about 40.
Cool.
So, but they're there forever. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Do we think there's enough?
I think I'm good. Are you good?
Yeah.
I just want to make
Let's
sure
go
you're
for it.
comfortable.
Even the
Okay.
flies are. Oh, is this locked
Oh,
now?
they locked it. Yeah. It still kind of smells like it.
I mean, you think that they'd like
Give a warning,
give
right?
a warning or?
I'm getting my cancer screening soon, anyways.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. And we're back.
And we're back. Are you sure you're good? Do you want to wait another like 5 minutes? Okay, I'm fine.
I mean, now that it's not billowing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, before I was just like, well, we're like breathing. We're breathing it in. All right, so where were we? So we were at creators are frightened. We're frightened. Creators are frightened because, well, they yeah, we were talking about how, you know, with the last creators haven't even gotten over the last technological.
No, and already, so yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the income streams have gone down. I will say, like I said, income streams have gone up because you have personal computers. You have people can use Final Cut on their computers. They're filmmakers.
Yep.
Like, but the revenue has already gone down from what it used to be. And then you also have like TV and film revenue that used to be for sync licensing, kind of where a lot of indie artists made a lot of money.
Yep.
Because major artists wouldn't touch it, and then major artists shifted.
What I don't know, but also for the audience, what is sync licensing?
Sorry, so sync licensing is anytime you watch a TV show or a film
okay.
and a song is there, that's licensing. Or an
Okay.
ad or commercial, licensing. So
Gotcha.
so the artist or the sound recording got a fee, the writers got a fee, typically. So that's called sync licensing. 'Cause you're
Okay.
syncing it to picture. Now, a lot of majors wouldn't touch that, major artists, because it was beneath them to have a burger ad with their song,
Yeah.
right? But, you know, flash forward to a world where no one's buying records, and suddenly...
Now Katy Perry's like,
yeah, licenses looking really good.
Yeah.
You know, but then what happens is it pushes down the revenue for everybody else.
Yes.
So I think, you know, getting to the era that we are right now, where you have AI and you have content being created at scale, I think it's tricky because... So this is where futurist comes in for me, and also another term that I like to use is...
Wait, what? Did I never plug that in? Fascinating.
What? What's not plugged in?
The Ethernet.
You want to plug it in? Is it working?
It's working, but
Okay.
anyway. Sorry, I interrupted
We're
you.
doing great today.
We're doing great today. 0 drop frames, but no Ethernet. We
We're
love
fine.
to see it.
We're
Okay.
fine. Yeah, so I think, with AI, what's been happening is terrifying for a lot of people, but I really do like to use the term when I host like events. Like I host a lot of events in LA around educating people about tech. And there's a lot of anger to weed through. Like people will see AI or they'll see a thing and they're like, people have such a reaction to it, right?
Yep.
But I've been doing this for decades. I've been in the entertainment world for that long because I'm a realist.
Yep.
And you can hate AI all you want, but it's here.
Yep.
And so you can scream at the TV, you can scream to the heavens, but none of that's going to change the facts. Now, we'll talk about the No Fakes Act because there is legislation to try to make some protections happen.
Yep.
But to me, arguing about a technology that's already completely reshaping the landscape, it exists.
Yep.
So learn about it, figure out how your creativity and your art fits into it.
Yep.
I think that's really the only solution. And also, like, you have to kind of realize that, like, it's like taking it back to the network state, right? Like society, economics, all of these things, like, what we create, how things are, like it's a living, breathing thing.
It's always changing.
Always changing.
Yep. Dynamic.
So mass production of anything, like mass production of clothing, right? Like how many dressmakers and tailors went out of business because now we have fast fashion from overseas.
Yep.
And people just buy and throw things out, right? Same with fast food. What does that look like?
Yep.
So there's this mass production of culture that's happening, again, hitting each and every sector. So I think for me, because I think I'm an optimist, realist and an optimist, I think it's really important to figure out how to look at the current landscape. So that brings me to my project, the Creative Group. And I've been working with a business partner of mine, Marcus. He goes by Bellringer. He's also a futurist. He's a producer. We worked decades together on stuff. And then we started reconnecting in airports around the world, being like, what are you? And like we found out we both were down the rabbit hole with blockchain.
No way.
Yeah. Now he falls into the more like AI side of things, crypto investing. I'm more like ecosystem design for tokens and for blockchain.
Okay.
But we really kind of created this super group with Creative Group, and our goal was, how do we create a launch pad for content utilizing AI engines that allows a creative to be creative and to utilize it to support their art. That's the creative engine side. And then that's what Marcus is working on. And then my side of the partnership is, how do I create an economy around art where instead of just having to like sell your song or sell a ticket, we're utilizing tokenizing assets and royalties and really building community around your art and your message.
Yep.
So I think for me, and this is, I think, the struggle, I don't think it's hard to get people to buy anything. I think if you know how to sell, then you know how to sell.
Yep.
But I think for me, the challenge is, how do I get people to think about art differently?
Yes.
Right? So if we have a society where people are only subscribing to things, they're not buying them, right?
Yes.
Ownership has changed.
Yep.
It just has.
Yep.
Everything subscription services, everything subscription models, that's not going to change. That's going to keep continuing.
Yes, it's terrible.
So it's terrible, but it's also just is, right?
Yep.
So if you're an artist, you can't survive on these subscription models. You can in some senses of like, you have the Patreons of the world, or you have different ways that you can get people to subscribe.
Patreon is a one example of one.
A good example.
Yeah.
But really, the hard part is it asks the artist to not just create their art, but to also be a community builder.
Yes.
And to also have business sense, or to like, user acquisition, right? All of these
art is supposed to be like super neurodivergent, like can barely like go grocery shopping, and then all of a sudden, what I mean?
But these are all microcosms of what the network state is, or what pop-up societies are, or what DAOs are, right? So all of these models work for an artist.
Yes.
If an artist knows what kind of team they need to put around them.
Yep.
And I think that like, and when I say artist, it could be like art meaning like music. Oh,
yeah.
The door is open.
It just opened.
Will it stay closed?
I don't know. Can you lock this? Excuse me? Can you lock this? It's like flying open. Thank you.
We're solving a door issue.
We're solving a door. If anything go wrong live, it will. So yeah, sorry, where were we? Building the community DAOs and creator communities have a lot of similarities.
So I think it's getting people to understand that in the new system where you do have technology that's made delivery of content at scale, and where you do have the ability to create content at scale, then what it really becomes about is how do you, as a creative person, or a person who makes anything, how do you find the people that want what you have?
Yep.
And how do you create community around that so they are part of this ecosystem?
Yep.
And then that becomes a sustainable model.
Yes.
And so I think for me, fighting AI off has been a little bit less of my concern, and figuring out how to create models where you can identify income streams for creatives so that they can participate with their fans, with contributors in a way that helps them to continue to create and helps fans feel good and helps people who want to contribute feel like they're part of a meaningful community.
Yes, yes.
I think that's probably where the longevity in this is. So Creative Group is essentially, those two pieces. It's the launch pad with content engine, and then it's the ecosystem play where we help an artist go through and identify their revenue streams and then put them on chain and tokenize them so that there's and practically meaning that would be like if you say you have this podcast, right? And that's how you're starting and that's your entry, right? You're still a creative. You have a podcast. You would have a treasury for yourself and the podcast.
Gotcha.
And then maybe you want to turn it into blogs. Maybe you want to turn it into a TV show.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to you find some cool things and you want to do some books or you want to do some other.
And that's where the AI
products.
comes in?
Yes, you can leverage AI as a content engine, or you create it yourself. But we would help you create the economics around it and tokenize things so that people can participate in that ecosystem with you. And the goal is, once we have it up and running, so we're doing something where we're launching with an artist called DJ Crazy Cat.
I love this. DJ Crazy Cat. Okay, yes.
So DJ Crazy Cat is an AI artist, which I know I'm going to get flack about, but there's a very important reason why I picked an AI artist to do this with.
Yep.
First and foremost, I tried this model about 3 years ago with a producer, and it was really tricky because the producer was traveling a lot. So you try to get approvals and, they'd be on tour.
Yeah, and it's tied to their brand, their existing brand already, yeah?
Yeah, also this was a pilot project. So there were concerns when we would try to token gate Discord and it didn't work, right?
When you tried to token gate Discord?
Token gate Discord, meaning you use NFTs to give access, So this time around, now there's a precedent for creating NFTs that relate to royalties. Back then there wasn't. Now there's some legal precedent because they're starting to tokenize real estate. So you have Blackstone and all of these other institutions that have gone in and are creating smart contracts around real world assets.
Yes.
So to me, I'm like, okay, now we have the legal precedent, so we can go back in and we can do this also when it comes to copyrights and revenue streams. So the time is now. Now this is something that can be enforced, right?
Yep.
And it can hold up in a court of law, these directions for where these royalties go. So how do we go in then and create those systems for people? So my goal is that with the AI artist is that we test the entire model. It's a DJ.
Yep.
And then as that model's working, we promote other artists. And what I'm going to do is open source the entire project.
Yes.
So and that's really important to me. So what open sourcing is, if anyone doesn't know what open sourcing is,
yes.
it's basically that everything we're doing, we're going to publish. You can do it yourself. And I've had VCs that are like, why would you do that? Proprietary model. My whole thing is, most people are not going to do it themselves. Most people are going to read it and they're going to go, this is complicated. And then if they want us to do it, we can do it. We do it for token share. We do it for some sort of consulting fee. But I am going to give everyone every piece of what they need to do it themselves so that that's a total option for them.
Yep. And there's precedent for this in software as well.
Where people will use it. And then the other thing too is, for these models to work, I want the tokens that are in your system, you can spend them in my ecosystem. I want people to crop up ecosystems that we all can kind of then start to engage with each other's mechanism or tokens or currencies. Yeah. So it's exciting to me if this starts to have a life of its own, that we're not the only ones creating it.
Yeah, that's really inspiring, and I think it's it's how do I say this? Like it's obviously incredibly optimistic, and I am curious where. It sounds like you've thought about this a lot. Like, how do you see this? Because just talking with you, I see the vision. Like, I see how this could cause the existing record labels sort of crumble a bit, or the existing systems to disintegrate. But how do you see how that? Do you see that playing out? How do you see that playing out? Where like, do you see it playing out where everybody has their own crypto ecosystem, their own DAO? Because like right now, how I see it, like the big thing standing in the way from my perspective is the crypto brand itself, the brand of crypto, because so many people don't trust it. They think it's a scam. So even if like Lana Del Rey came out and said like, "Hey, I'm selling my album NFTs," some people wouldn't trust it.
Yeah.
But once that hump is over, like, how do you see it playing out? Like, do you think the record labels will have to get on board, or like, what do you think will happen?
Well, I think that digitizing assets
Yep.
is something that we've been primed to already be doing. Like
Yeah.
you don't own anything anymore. You stream it, you
Yep.
experience it, but
Yep.
you don't own it, right? And the evolution of Web3 and blockchain is ownership. And if you look at people that have been primed for becoming an Amazon influencer or an Instagram influencer, right?
Yeah.
It's this mechanism where these corporations are dangling this carrot,
Yep.
and people are going, "Oh my God, if I keep posting,
Yep.
I can make something," right? Whereas like 1% of people, if that, less than 1% actually make anything significant.
Yeah.
So it's this big farce, and the money that these corporations and these tech companies pay to creators is
It's like
pennies, right?
pennies.
So
Yeah.
you have a society that's getting primed to think, if I post and create, I should get something. So
Yeah.
that's where, for me, the language of NFTs, tokens, like we're using a lot of terminology that won't be in like probably our consumer side branding or
Right.
artist side branding, because I don't want to alienate people, right?
Exactly.
Like we're talking about what's under the hood of the tech. Like you don't want to rip open a computer, you just want to turn it on and like go to your favorite
Typey.
website.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean the tech's not there.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like talking at it from like the strategy tech component.
Yep.
But really if I do this well, it'll be, how do I create a very simple way so that the artists can continue to create art, the fans can continue to listen to music they love, watch movies they love,
Yep.
investors can invest in an ecosystem they believe in, and then a lot of what we're talking about is just the mechanics underneath it.
Yep.
Now, the economics that shift are essentially the fact that this model cuts out so many layers of skimming that
Yes.
currently exist, and it really just closes the gap between a fan
Yeah.
and an artist, and it keeps the value in the system instead of most of the value going to Live Nation, going to StubHub, going to
Yep.
Netflixes of the world, you name it, Apple. Like
Yep.
it cuts that piece out.
Yes. So one thing that I read though, which just to push back a little bit, just for the drama,
Yeah.
for the drama. But one thing I read is like, you know OpenClaw, right?
Yeah.
So OpenClaw, it's this AI platform. Or sorry, not OpenClaw. Do you know Clawbook? It's like a social media for
Oh,
agents.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
It's like it had like a little
yes,
moment.
yes.
It went viral, but Mark Zuckerberg actually hired the guy who made it because Mark Zuckerberg has this theory of social networks, which has yet to be disproven to me, but it is problematic in this worldview where whenever a social network gets started, the first mover's advantage is basically the winner. Like
Yeah.
whoever creates the first social media, the first social network, that's going to be the social network that everybody goes to. How do you feel? Do you feel like, DJ Crazy Cat, the creative group, AI, maybe even AI, like the technology of AI, do you think that it has the potential to break that down and sort of segment the market in a way, so that way people don't have to go on Instagram and post a million videos a week just to get like 12 cents, you know what I mean? So, and they could go onto maybe your social media platform, the open source social media platform, and post, and like all of the blockchain has it set up so that way all of the profits go to the creators, and then obviously the hosting costs go back to the app, but there's not so much skimming. But just because the economics of something are better doesn't necessarily mean
Adoption
will happen. Yeah, exactly. How do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, think about what happened after the .com bubble.
Yep.
And think about how everyone thinks the internet we have is the only internet.
Yeah.
They don't question it. They
Yeah.
just plug in, they log online, and so
Scroll.
yeah. And it's kind of like, not to be like dystopian, but It's like the grown
is
elephant that just has a stake in the ground.
Yeah.
That like could theoretically just walk away and the stake would come out and the chain, right?
Yep.
So I think that if you
that is we're like the little elephant. Yeah, yeah.
pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's worth trying.
100%.
I think ultimately, you know, I think it is really difficult. I would like to think and another reason why I'm at the network, you know, school is it's really exciting to be part of a live representation of a concept and a theory, right?
Yep.
And so going to a place where you say, okay, if I'm going to pay the same rent in Los Angeles or a little bit, you know, this is less than what I'd pay in Los Angeles.
Yep.
But now I have a community and I have meals and I have like someone, you know, like we have cleaning services, we have gym, we have community
Conversations like all day.
Yes,
Yeah.
like you can look and just be like, you know, do I want to be social? Do I not want to be social?
Yep.
Like, do I want to host an event? Do I not want to host an event?
Yep.
I think that people will start to think about things a little bit differently. I think that the problem to solve, I think you're right in the sense that the hurdle is I'm trying to solve a problem that I think people don't entirely know how bad it is yet.
It's so bad.
Well, meaning that like jobs are going to get cut, money is going to become more scarce. I think that like a solution like this that's been beta tested and maybe gets enough market share, ideally people will do for themselves. But I mean, it's like anything, you have to care that much. So I'd like to think that it's a mass adoption principle. I also think the issue is a lot of solutions like this people get bought out. They do deals with the devil. Someone comes in and buys a lion's share of the company and buries it. You know, there's a lot of technology that solved a lot of problems that I've seen, you know, major labels or I've seen corporations buy up and then bury. And someone wants their payday and they've created something and they kind of slink off and do something else, but they
go to Bali,
really
chill.
trying to create something meaningful, and then maybe they got tired. I mean, you can't blame someone if
you're
like, you've been eating ramen for how many decades, and you know, Big Bad Brother's going to give you a couple billion to just like live your life. Yeah,
I would. I mean, currently, right? Yeah.
So I think you're not wrong. I think the other part is this model requires agency.
Yep.
And I think that a lot of artists don't necessarily have agency in terms of community building their entire ecosystem, you know, just by design. And I think
that's why they hire agents, right?
Well, that's why they use agents, but think about how many people, agent, manager, label, that like, and so I think changing the mentality around what does the new team look like. So I think in order for these models to be adopted, education is a huge component, and then word of mouth, right? So if it's education, word of mouth, you know, if you get people that buy into this type of structure, I can see it working. But, you know, the play that we're coming up with, an artist can't do it on their own. They have to get people to contribute to a system.
Got you.
So that's the other part, is people have to believe in that art. They have to believe in the world that someone's creating. I have another project that's similar. So I'm beta testing the pilot right now in the music world, and I'm also doing it in the regenerative farming world. So I have a friend who bought her vineyard, and it's the same system. It's like she's a regenerative farmer, like vineyard, she's a vineyard winemaker. How do I de-risk the fact that she has to just sell wine, right? So she has how many years before wine can be made from her thing, right? From her vineyard. How do we make her competitive in a global corporate farming world?
Yes.
So similar thing, like digitizing her land. How do we create like a treasury around alternative streams of income? How do I get people to care across the world who maybe their life's dream is to go to Italy and can't afford it? So how do we start to create community utilizing digital tools and incentives? So similar thing, same concept, just two different sectors that we're running these pilot projects in.
So I think I conceptually understand the regenerative farm. Like, so you have a digital, you have the real life farm, you know, that you can touch, and then you digitize that asset. And I'm guessing you're selling parts of that land in order, like the digital land, in order to sort of confer some benefits on the purchaser later on. So maybe they get like a wine subscription, or they can visit, right? But can you tell me more about DJ Crazy Cat? That's why we're here. So I don't get that one.
So DJ Crazy Cat is the creative group side, which is the so basically anything under creative group is going to be based off of what is called a transmedia approach. Which is similar to what we mentioned about the vineyard, where, you know, de-risking the fact that you just have music. So maybe you have a video game, maybe you have a radio show, maybe you have books. Like, it has to feel genuine to your brand. We're not just doing like that Spaceball scene where like they rip open the side and they're like Spaceballs, the ice cream, the this, the that. It's like all just branding and marketing and like different types of merch. So it has to make sense, but I do think that it's a way to have people engage meaningfully in a way that works with your story. And if it does, then it feels like that should be a yes, right? So DJ Crazy Cat, so I don't work on projects that don't have a give back. It's super important to me that there's some sort of give back element. So any artist that we launch is always going to have that. And then ideally anyone in our ecosystem is going to also have to, we won't accept them as an artist unless there's a huge give back element. So DJ Crazy Cat's mission is to save 1 million cats. Meow. 1 million cats.
Yeah.
And so we have that baked into, once we launch with the token that we have, the engagement metrics, we're going to have like a way to track like how much we're going towards and like this goal of 1 million cats. So he has a live streaming radio show that we have prepped. Yeah, we haven't gone live with it yet. He has a token which is on the DL. We're doing an OG version of the token. And then we're going to launch, like, do an actual token that's, like, treasury-based. But this is just a token that we launched under the radar that we're going to start cropping up places and doing airdrops for engagement in the community. And it's a test token. So we want people to know that it will have value, but it's not where the final one will land. This is part of our phase 1. He already has a single that's out.
No way!
Yeah, he does. It's stealth mode, but officially DJ Crazy Cat is signed to Hitscope Sony Records.
No way!
So we have our first...
That's
Too
awesome.
deep with the major with Hitscope, who's my third partner actually. Jenny has a company called Hitscope. It's a distribution record label, and they do marketing. So he sits on it's the three of us, and he's distributing DJ Crazy Cat's record.
No way.
So,
What's the record called?
I think the first single is The Long Way Home, but we stealthed everything. So what we did is we lined everything up. So if you do Google and find it, you can probably be sneaky about it and find all of the materials. But we lined everything up at the gate. And then the phase that we're in now is, like, what I'm here doing is taking different meetings and trying to build out and partner with people for the token architecture.
Got you.
Really important to me that we don't launch things where whales come in and buy or people kind of rug pull.
Totally.
So we actually didn't tell many people, actually pretty much anyone, about our token because we didn't want our friends to go in and buy it on speculation.
I see.
We wanted to create a meaningful use and spend case. For it.
Like the Farc. I saw you're on Farcaster.
Yes.
So have you been following the drama with the? I guess there was some drama where the original Farcaster protocol had a bunch of people do that exactly what you did, and then they forked the protocol, and then the new fork protocol
that all messed up.
The new fork protocol is more like a democratized way where like it's not owned by like 2 people. You know. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, along those lines. Anytime Creative Group launches a treasury for an artist, we're not doing what's called a sub bond. There are a lot of projects that were off of a sub bond, meaning the currency was created with the parent currency that has to always be part of it. To me, that's part of like the you're stuck in a record label model.
I was about to say.
So we're not doing that. So everything that's in the treasury will be, the idea is that this artist ecosystem should operate and work entirely on its own.
Gotcha.
And then if anything, it's a supply mechanism. So whatever we help launch, maybe we get a percentage of. But it's also based on a circular economy with our Launchpad. So each artist gets token in Creative Group. So they have shares in every other artist or IP.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I want that model to be something that is a benefit for everyone that is involved in the ecosystem. But ultimately, if after a launch, there's some sort of governance structure for DJ Crazy Cat's team, which right now is us. So DJ Crazy Cat's team is us as the pilot, and we're also Creative Group, right? But in the future, the idea would be like that we help launch. Maybe we sit on the governance board, 1 or 2 of us, but essentially its own project. So as it grows, if the decision is to break free and just maintain autonomy, that's totally fine. It's totally fine. So, and we're kind of working out what that would look like in terms of sunsetting, like token batches we'd be releasing or things like that. But for DJ Crazy Cat, like I said, we have all the materials.
Amazing.
We have albums that are already ready to be launched.
Wait,
we have
really?
music videos.
No, you
all
don't.
of the content.
Can you show me one later? Not on screen.
Yes.
Maybe.
Well, everything's like super like
Super secret. Okay, got you.
Because we don't want anything to leak. It actually, you'll find this funny.
Okay.
So Marcus, don't kill me for saying this.
Yeah.
Marcus has been testing certain content delivery systems.
Yeah.
And one of his agents went rogue and started posting DJ Crazy Cat stuff.
No.
Like on his Instagram.
Yeah.
So I would see it and I'd be like, text him. I'm like, Marcus, I don't mind, but are we launching promos?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh wait, no. And I'm like, he's like, I have a rogue agent.
Who
was posting.
Oh, I thought you meant like a person. No, an AI agent.
Yes,
no,
who was posting
not
like
Claude.
yes, something like that. Like so I looked at him like, oh, I didn't know that we were. I was like, I don't mind, but should I be resharing this?
You're like,
are we
fill me
seeding
in.
something? What's the strategy? And he's like, no. And he looked and he's like, oh my god,
my open clause.
Yeah, because he's trying to test and be like, hey, don't ask me for everything with his agentic team.
Yeah.
And so one of them is just like so anyway, suffice to say, if you follow us,
the intern bot
is like popping up DJ Crazy Cat like clips, and then like we're taking them down.
That's
and
so
like,
funny.
Oh, don't. But anyway, yeah. So that all that material is ready to go, and then my goal over the course of this month is to create some partnerships where I can get a little bit of buy-in. For me, what I'm interested in with the community here is I really want to talk to people about, and I've met a couple people here that I'm really excited to continue the conversation. I want to make sure that I put together a team of people that are really interested in a true structure where governance and treasury and contribution makes sense in the fuller sense. And there are a bunch of talks that are coming up on this.
Yeah, this is the month to be here for that.
Yeah, for that. So that's another reason why I'm here is there's so many ways this has been done with different DAOs. There are a few other pop-up societies. So part of what I'm here to do is to make those connections, but to also have meaningful conversations around, okay, like there's been enough time where things were done well here, not so great there.
Yep.
Like how do we build an ecosystem that maintains its value and is maybe a little bit better guarded against like attacks or whales or rug pulls?
Yes, amazing.
Yeah.
So my next question about this AI artist, right? So a lot of the reason, I mean, a big reason that people I think get upset with the AI artists are because one, I think people think, there's not going to be a soul to this artist, right? Like that's what I see a lot of. And then also, how do live performances work? Can you take us through that? Like sort of like what is your response to the pushback towards AI artists in general?
I mean, I think it's tricky because I was a singer-songwriter, so I'm like the crunchy granola back in the day.
Yeah,
it was like
You're
I'd
like
be the
Sarah
barefoot
McLachlan,
one, like so
Lil
like
Fest,
I'm not even like using a computer, right?
Yeah,
like I'm literally just like sitting on a beach barefoot with a guitar.
True.
Do I believe in the human heart and spirit and soul of creativity? Absolutely, of course.
Yeah.
I think this goes back to the mass production of all of these things, right? Is like you have people who care about who makes their clothes. You have people who care about organic, not organic, vegan, non-vegan, right?
Yep.
I think that it's really difficult because a lot of people just plop on a radio station and they're yes, they say they like music, but they don't know the name of the artist.
Yep.
They don't really go to concerts. They love experiencing music, but they're not really music fans.
Yes.
And artists don't like to hear that, but that's the reality.
It's so true. It's so true. You always go to like, I was in the nightlife scene back in New York, and you always hear like people like, there's a whole song like, I just came for the music.
Yeah.
Because like there's so many people that go, they just want to like whatever party. They basically just want to be at a party, right? Or like drinking or whatever, getting high or something like that. So you think that like, I guess what I'm wondering is like, do you feel like these are separate issues basically? Like,
well, I think that piracy is a problem.
Oh, okay.
I think that if a model is trained on your art, and this is the hard part is all models are trained on pre-existing everything.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not an if.
Yes.
It's just it's trained on all of this stuff.
Yep.
That being said, like the human mind, like when I'm writing for a TV show, they can't legally say, hey, we couldn't afford this song from this artist, recreate it. Like there's some laws around that.
Yeah.
But they will say, hey, we want it to sound in the vein of this.
Yes.
So like art, it's people
reference tracks.
reference tracks,
Yep.
reference films.
Yep.
I mean, when you're learning how to be a filmmaker, what do?
Copy.
You watch,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
take a little bit of this, a little bit of that,
Yep.
a little, and then you synthesize it.
Yes.
So I think like human creativity at a certain level of all of these productions is a synthesis of a lot of other human creativity.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that that's the part for me that doesn't really go away. I think also like if you have, oh dog. I think also if you have have you ever heard of the true 1,000 fan theory?
No, I actually have, what is this?
Okay.
I love theories.
Yeah. So the idea is that all you need is 1,000 fans. But
Oh.
real fans. Like,
Yeah, like true,
we'll
true.
buy everything you make. We'll go to all your shows. You
Yeah.
just need true 1,000 fans, right?
Yeah.
So I think that that's getting back to my community aspect is like, that's what you need, right? Like you need to build a community around your art,
Yep.
which again, there's been a wonderful little utopia the last couple decades where it was enough that you had a single, you got a hit, and someone signed you, and now, you
Yep.
know, again, 1%ers, but
Yeah.
that was the dream that's being dangled, and that's
Yep.
no longer a possibility.
Yeah.
So I think that there'll be more competition at the top. I think that the desire for something human-made and crafted will never go away.
Yeah.
It's just you have to be excellent. You
Yep.
can't be average. You can't be better than average. You can't be great. You have to be
Top.
so far superior. And it doesn't just mean in skill and craft. It can mean in community building. Maybe you're not the best musician,
Yep.
but you have crafted a world where someone's like, God, every time I go through a breakup, this is the world I lean into.
This is where I want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense for me. I think what I'm touching on is a bit different, which is like, I think what I guess I'm more concerned about with music AI, which is not DJ Crazy Cat. I think DJ Crazy Cat's great. I was a DJ Crazy Cat, and you even said that I have a separate thing I want to ask about, but which is like pushing back a bit. But one thing I wanted to ask you about, which is like you're gonna have like somebody dressed up like a cat, I'm assuming, like perform live, right? Like, or are you gonna have? Is it gonna be a robot? Like, what are you thinking? Like, how are the live DJ Crazy Cat performances going to go? Or have you not thought about that yet?
Yeah, we could do mocap. I mean, there are a lot of
mocap.
There are motion capture.
Oh, okay.
So, there are a lot of actually holographic artists in Japan
that
are
cool.
They do it that way where they're like cartoons or they're some sort of like fictitious character.
Yeah.
But you go see them in concert and there's someone in a motion capture suit dancing under the stage. So you get the human movement, but it's you see the projection.
That's amazing.
So I mean, and that's what people watch cartoons. What do they think cartoons are?
Oh no, yeah. I'm
like,
super into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I think I'm more worried about is just like, so humans go to listen to music and certain types of music can make you like want certain things. Like I feel like if you listen to certain types of music, maybe you really want to like own a Lamborghini, and if you listen to other types of music, maybe you really want to like own a truck or something,
Sure.
right? And it's like, how far is the AI generated music gonna allow like ads and capitalism to kind of just like sort of like trickle into music in a way that maybe we don't really want as a society?
And it's already there.
It's already there.
Product placements and videos.
Yeah.
What do you think, like rappers, pop stars, they're already driving a Lamborghini. That's product placement.
Yeah.
They got paid for that.
Yeah.
Advertisements with big artists.
Okay.
It's
already happened.
Oh yeah.
You think it's going to make it worse because there's not any like gatekeeper, sort of not any artist gatekeeper that's like, I'm not doing a deal with that brand. I don't like that brand. Whereas like now it's just going to be the highest bidder, basically.
I mean, it always was the highest bidder.
It always was.
It's just an issue of whether an artist would throw their weight behind a product endorsement.
No,
but famous actors do it all the time. Like I'm trying to think of the ones that like there are a lot of rappers who've done it.
I mean, Megan Thee Stallion's always going off about Popeyes and like
Dunkin'.
Like
Ryan Reynolds, for example.
Yeah.
Really famous for endorsing products for share of the company.
Yeah.
Right. So
smart. Pay me in equity.
Yeah.
Watch me reverse edit.
Doesn't go
That's
away.
Beyonce. Yeah.
I don't think AI has much to do with it. I do think that the income streams are going to go away because you have a lot of like smaller source music. They're called source music placements on TV and film that are like backgrounds where they were doing licenses and now they won't have to. They'll just use an AI generator and that music will be because people aren't noticing it anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
Instead of having and every time there's music, it's a license. But with AI, it doesn't have to be copyrighted if you prompt it. So. That's a lot of revenue that's going to go away. They'll still probably pay for the marquee song to promote the artist because there's dual brand recognition for them. They can say, hey, check out our playlist. We have Beyonce that did the end sequence for this finale scene. So as long as there's a cross promotion, that won't go away. But anything that's like, again, like middle class musician-ish, you know, that's like music that's not like really prominently featured, that'll be replaced by some AI generation.
Gotcha. Okay, so last question, and that sort of does bring us to logically to the act. Sammy, can you remind me the name of it?
The No Fakes Act.
The No Fakes Act. Yeah. So we'll go over that, but I wanted to ask you, where do you see DJ Crazy Cat in 5 years, and where do you see the digitized vineyard that you're also working on? Where do you see that in like 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, my dream would be that DJ Crazy Cat is like kind of a gateway for people that want to get their music out there. So they'll show, like, other artists will kind of be distributed through that in terms of like, you know, like he'll play the music on, you know, a new artist that comes through and promote it. So I would love if DJ Crazy Cat was just this conduit for like artists that want recognition. Yeah. Also our Million Cats. Yes. I would love
all the cats will be saved.
I would love to save. I particularly am passionate about cats that are senior cats that, you know, either people who are being deported because of ICE or seniors that go into nursing homes. Yeah. Those cats that are older don't get taken care of. A lot of them get euthanized because they're not prime cats for adoption. Yeah. So I would love to see something around that. Aww, particularly amazing. So that they can sunset off, you know, after a life with their human. Yeah. So a million cats, I'd like to see a million cats being saved. And I'd love to see this being something that people take on for themselves, that they come to our site, they download our white paper, they maybe improve upon the model, they share with it, you know, their learnings with other people so that other artists can do this for themselves. Yes. I would love to see that. And I would love to see artists being a conduit for artists being able to sustain their own creativity within a system that is not currently providing enough income for them to do that. And the same for the farm. I'd love to see, I've already been in talks with farms in the US and then some in Italy where how do we use this to start to have like farms that work together to share resources, whether it's solar panels or carbon credits or whatever it is. How do we start to create a conglomerate of all these smaller farms? Yeah. You know, and then on the fan side, I would love that instead of people playing dumb video games where they spend God knows how much on helmets and skins, I would love for them to engage in a world where the vineyard gets extra water or gets extra something or an orphanage gets a chicken that it needs. Like, I would love to see like this incentivization structure encouraging people who are playing video games or are in a digital world to kind of demand more from their entertainment and their entertainment. Wow. That's what I would love to see.
That's so crazy. That concept just, we can talk for another like hour, I feel like, about that. That's crazy. I mean, why are all the big names not doing this already? Like, right? Like you would think, like why are all the people, why does the things that become the biggest end up not being like for the greater good? Like, you see what I'm trying? Greed. Annoying. Yeah. Okay, so wow, we've been talking for an hour. Yes. Amazing. Okay, so we have we're gonna go over these tweets that we sent some of this content, and then we'll call it a day. Does that sound good? Sure. Cool. So first, I wanted to talk to you about this No Fakes Act. Yes. So I found this tweet. So first, you want to give us this is like a hot take on the No Fakes Act. Yeah. But do you want to explain to us what the No Fakes Act is, so then that way people can understand what the hot take is?
Yeah. So the No Fakes Act is an acronym, which my phone is somewhere, not on me. Oh no, is it in my?
I can look it up.
Yeah. So it's an acronym, but basically what it is it's something that was presented to Congress last year, and it's essentially a lot of people in the industry. Yeah, so what does it say?
It's Nurture Originals, Foster Art, and Keep Entertainment Safe Act.
Yes. So essentially you have all of these different interested parties getting together. So like I was on I was an LA chapter governor for the Grammys, which is the Recording Academy.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I also am on the advocacy committee. So like we went up to Sacramento, which is the capital in California, and we went there to like represent the No Fakes Act and a few others, right?
How was that?
So it could be a whole other
episode, okay.
Lobbying is like, I have so much respect for lawmakers. I know
Yeah.
no one does, but with what
No,
I
they're-
saw,
yeah.
it was just wild.
Okay.
Anyway, you know, there were I think it was the HITS Act and something else. Anyway, so the No Fakes Act is something that the Recording Academy is if you go to their site, they have a lot of really good recommendations
Okay.
for policy.
Okay.
And it is important to have these organizations backing legislation, because there's a lot of legislation that seems like it's created for a good cause, but it's really created by corporate interests.
Yeah. Yep.
Positioned as a good cause. Lawmakers are so busy, they're like, yeah, of course I want to support arts.
Yeah.
So to see that the No Fakes Act is supported by like the Recording Academy, for example, that says something, right? They're saying our recording artists believe that this is important, right?
Yep.
So I think SAG and AFTRA report are also like backing it, which is the actors unions. So there are represented parties where people who make money based on their voice and their image and their likeness, and that's their currency, right, to say. So this No Fakes Act is basically aimed at tightening up how likeness is used.
Okay.
And so the hard part is there's something called the safe harbor provision. It's the same thing that YouTube uses, where it means that you don't have to police your own platform.
Okay.
You just have to have a method by which things get taken down.
Okay.
So YouTube is like, upload anything you want, but it's up to people to go, hey, and you can hit a button and say, this is the copyright infringement.
Yep.
But they're not responsible for stopping the initial upload.
Oh, wow.
They're responsible for having a mechanism that takes it down.
Okay, I see.
So that's what this would do essentially with the No Fakes Act, is that it would be similar for likeness.
Okay.
The exception being anything having to do with like live news, First Amendment stuff, like documentary,
Yes,
where
okay.
you can use likeness for those things. So, I mean, I think it's wonderful. I think that I'm more of a techie, so how do we enforce it? How do you watermark so you know that
Some startup's going to make a bunch of money enforcing it, right? Hey, it could be us. Could be
right?
us. Yeah.
There you go. What are you working on this project?
Yeah. Oh, I got a
Yeah.
business deal from NSTV. No, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's wonderful. I actually have a meeting when I get back to LA next month with some organizations that are working on how to watermark specific versions of things, so that if you are interested in using the legitimate, and I think it's important, like footage, I think it is important because you also have fake news, right? So I think any technology that has some sort of verification process that is actually legitimate will help restore some faith in what things are. But yeah, it's an uphill battle for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of, the tech companies never want to have any rules about anything, so, which is annoying. But, okay, so here's the hot take. I'd love to hear your reaction. Amy Klobuchar just admitted that the critics of the No Fakes Act have been warning, it's not about fraud, it's about censoring parody. And in a New York Times op-ed, she singled out an AI meme mocking her reaction to a Sydney Sweeney ad. Rather than laugh it off, she praised TikTok for nuking the clip, Meta for tagging it, and scolding X for refusing to slap on a community note. Of course, this is on X, and X is like notorious for like not censoring anything. But I'm curious to hear, do you feel like it's gonna sort of infringe on parody, or do you think that the officials will figure that out because of the First Amendment?
I mean, I think I understand about I don't know. So the big concern is censorship.
Yep, right.
Right? Is how far does it go? If anyone can click a button and say, I'm offended, take it down.
Yep.
What does that look like?
Yep.
And then what if people, I mean, it already happens now, though. People click copyright infringement on stuff that's not a copyright infringement.
Yeah, I mean, not to bring whatever, it doesn't matter. You saw the the AI generated Lego videos from Iran. Those got taken off YouTube, and those aren't even a real person. Like, those aren't even like a real person.
Yeah.
Those are just like an AI generated video, and those have gotten taken down. So we already have some kind of censorship.
Yeah. But also, like, it goes back to like knockoff handbags and wallets, right?
True,
like, how much do you want to spend of your time creating something new or playing whack-a-mole? Like, anything you create, there are going to be people that are trying to break the law, steal something, like that part of human nature. Replicate it, create a knockoff of it. So I think that it's whack-a-mole. I think that it's helpful to have something in place. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I do think censorship is a definitive issue. But again, the person to me that's like, what do we have to work with? People are going to make fakes of anything they can. Anything they can. It could be a shirt, a shoe, it could be music, a person. They're going to do it. So to me, it's an element of like, is there a technology that could potentially help with this? But then the other part with this stuff is perception. People still buy fake handbags.
Yep. People still want to see a deep fake of
Anything.
anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the line, I guess, could be politicians, journalists. Like, maybe they should be allowed to be deep faked, like that, just by the nature of their profession. But like, I'm assuming this is like to prevent Megan Thee Stallion or like artists that like have built their brand and like they don't want themselves to be deep faked.
This
right?
is but this is the problem, is that the only people who are going to be able to afford this are the people who are that level, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because again, do I think something like this should pass? Absolutely.
Yes.
Because then you have legal precedent and you have recourse.
Yes.
But it's the same in contract law with corporations. Who has the bigger war chest?
Yes.
So, like, if you're Megan Thee Stallion and you're really losing significant revenue because now your voice is being slapped on all of these things, you have a war chest to go after that.
Yes. Did you hear about this artist? She's like a small indie artist. She had like a decent sized following, maybe like 50K followers.
Yes.
She got deep faked. Then the deep fake account reported her for faking them.
Yes.
You saw this?
Yeah.
So this is the people that this act would protect, basically.
Well, kind of. I mean, it basically just sets a legal precedent for being able to issue a takedown.
Okay. I see.
Now, whether people use that in a
reverse
sense,
way,
yeah, it's problematic.
Yeah. But she could go in now and sue the people that ordered the takedown on her, because there was no legal precedent before, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in this case, like I said, like I think it's better to have something in place that at least gives an artist some sort of protection for their likeness rights.
Yes.
But it's who can afford to?
Yeah, but we should always be able to deepfake Donald Trump. That's what.
Yeah. Ideally.
Okay, a couple more, and then I'll set you free. Okay, went to a restaurant recently that was playing all AI-generated songs, inoffensively shitty pop music with bizarre lyrics. If you had paid attention. That's the future these people want, a bland, artless world filled with sounds and images made by robots. We sort of touched on this earlier, but yeah, what do you...
There's a lot of crappy music made by humans.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Yeah, and now this is like, at least the crappy music's gonna sound like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that it's... Like, do you get your coffee at Starbucks, or do you go into a corner shop where they do drip over a thing?
Yeah.
Like, do you care if it's human made?
Yeah.
If you do, like, hey, this was we only play human made music in here.
Yeah.
Awesome. This is a venue where it's
that human made,
yeah.
that could be like a whole sticker, like organic.
Yeah.
It could be like a whole.
But that's the thing is it's just going to have to be a differentiator for people, right? Because for me, I guess I understand like the debate, but I'm like I said, I'm more like it's already happened. It's happening. So like whether I agree with it or not, this is what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, did you see the thing where the interview with Diplo, where he's like, I don't use vocalists anymore for my stems. He basically just like, I generate the stems myself and I don't use vocalists. Yeah. I mean, it's just things are changing.
When you were doing loops and like programming music and you're dropping in beats, that used to be drummers.
Yep. Yeah.
Like it's just like I had this debate with my brother where I was like, did you hire a string player on your last film? He's like, I'm like, what are you complaining? I'm like, you used samples, right? Like you paid for the sample library, or you pirated it. I don't know, or Splice. But did you hire a string player? And he was like, don't look at me. It's different. I'm like, but you're assembling it.
Yeah.
You didn't spend how long learning the cello. And now you're not hiring a cello player.
Yeah.
So it's been happening for a really long time.
Yeah, the march of technological advancement continues.
Yeah, it's just the degree to which you benefited from it.
Yeah. And
now the degree to which you might not.
Yeah.
But we didn't go from all human everything to now all robots. There's been like
By the way, if any robots are listening,
yes,
we love you.
We love you.
Keep it up.
Yep.
Keep it up. Cool. And then I think the last one, I ended up, oh dang, I deleted it, but it's this article about how we should push back against the music machine. I think we've sort of touched on it, but the big thing that I really wanted, the big TLDR that I wanted to point out here, which was a recent survey conducted by Ipsos for French music streaming service Deezer found that 97% of people polled couldn't tell if a song was created by a human or generated by AI. Are you surprised by that?
No.
Yeah.
do you know how many pop songs? I mean, I'm not going to name names because I'll get murdered, but I am in Los Angeles. Do you know how many pop stars don't sing their own stuff?
Yeah.
Like, this is nothing new. Like,
Yeah.
I have friends who ghost for major artists.
Yeah.
Ghosts.
Yeah.
So you buy the record thinking it's, I'm not going to say the pop stars' names, but it's someone else.
I've heard a lot of K-pop. They use the backing artists, like a lot of backing.
But they're also just famous artists, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that they didn't sing. They kind of like went in there and they think they sang, and then maybe their voice isn't what it used to be, so they left, and then they pulled in the other singers that ghosted for them.
Wow.
I had a friend that used to tour with a really famous band. I don't even know if I could say it. It was like think back in the era of like the Eagles, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, all of them, right? So you think these are players, right? They are players.
Yeah.
But there are a couple artists that were so messed up on drugs that I have a few friends who they get up to play like the famous artists, and they didn't know that their stuff was off.
No way.
And my friend would be stage right, playing the part. So like.
That's wild.
Entertainment is show business.
The show must go on, my friend.
Yes. So like, do I not believe in? I mean, again, I am a crunchy granola at heart, singer-songwriter, barefoot with a guitar in the outside. Right?
Yeah.
Do I think that like, I guess I would say should be protected. I don't believe in should. That's what it comes down to. It is or it isn't.
Yep.
And I think if I show up with heart and if I connect with people, and if that really translates into something meaningful, then I will have the value in that system.
Yep.
So I think artists just need to show up and keep creating, but they also need to understand that the minute they step outside of their bedroom and they are playing for anyone else, that they have a commitment to that community. They're participating. They want, as soon as they say they don't care, if they didn't care, they'd stay in their bedroom playing guitar. They didn't care, they'd be making films that only they watch.
Yes.
Right? So the minute you step outside into the world,
Yep.
you have to participate with the community.
Yes.
And the nature of what that looks like has changed.
Yep.
So I think, will some people listen to AI and not care? Yeah, just like people don't wonder where what anything comes from.
I mean, some people even like the what are they called? The industry plants. There are people that are like, oh no, I won't listen to Sabrina Carpenter. She's an industry plant or whatever. But then there's like all this debate about who is actually an industry plant and like getting to that. And then there's some people who are like, I don't care. I like Espresso. It's a great song. You know what I mean? So yeah. Okay. So I think I understand where you're coming from. I hope everyone else does, and I also hope that I hope that art continues to touch people and makes gets people through a breakup, gets people through a tough time.
It will.
It will. You're like, don't you worry.
No, that doesn't go away.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that makes life.
And I also
wonderful.
think hip hop will be a lot more lyrical songs might be protected from, because like people want to hear that story. You know what I mean? Like, and if the story is, if a creator has like a really specific backstory, then that might be the types of people that I think it's going to be people that are like excellent.
Yeah.
And then also people that like, whoa, like their backstory is like pretty crazy. Like I want to follow them because of the lore.
It's always been the same, right? If you want to focus on this and what you're going to lose, focus on your art.
Yep.
Make something fantastic. Relate to people.
Yep.
Don't worry about the rest of the noise. If it's that good and if you're connecting, then you'll have a career.
Yep.
If you're not connecting, that's the bare minimum for you to be able to be sustained as an artist. People have to connect to what you do.
Yep.
So you either find the people that do, or if no one does, it's a wonderful hobby, but it's not you as a career.
Yeah.
Don't blame AI. Don't blame if you are excellent at what you do, there will always be people that are moved and inspired by that excellence. Always.
Yay! That was inspirational. We're gonna end on that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Jess, for